Here I am at the graveyard of Salem United Methodists, a community started in 1813 and had a particular building at 1850, and its previous building was 1836. Is that what it said? So McMahon, what is that? Kind of reminds me of someone famous. I'm not sure what. What's that in the hand? So holding the rose, you know, the rose on the cross is Venus versus the sun. And so I thought I'd Nunales, AMN. So I thought I would record this whole graveyard here. And died 1949. So some of these are going to be kind of difficult. 1999, that's not. 1916. Nunelli, well, I guess that's close to that one. And what does this one say? McHugh. I don't know if I've ever met a McHugh before. Or a Bramblet. A Black. Yeah, I've met some people by the name of Black. And is that an unidentified stone or some sort? Bramlet. Okay. Does it say on the other side? Lewis. Yeah, definitely known some Lewises. And someone named Mary. Louise. The older the graveyard, the more likely you are to have something that does not have a last name. Cato, that's not a terribly familiar name. Foster and Vaughn, yeah, those are names that one sees. The myth of the, well, keeping up with the Joneses. Which old family. Adamilio, not a common name. Reynolds, Dacus. So a couple people buried here, I think, or Dacus, Farr. World War II veterans. I wonder if there's any other veterans. Edie J. Jem. The Millers. The McHughes. The Matthews. Hughes. Okay. Me personally, I'm going to have a very small tombstone. Rather has thousands spent on a living person. The Lees and the Bulls, but that's obviously their belief to go towards those ends. Mathis is not the most common of names. The Lamb, which is not the sign of March, it's actually the sign of May. Yep, my sun sign was lied to me for most of my life. So prayer and fighting. Well, Korean vet. McHugh. Henderson. I've known some Hendersons in my life. And some Millers. Not these ones. Owens and Marvins. Yep. Hughes. Whole lot of Hughes. McHugh. And I guess I'll finish the Hughes before I go on the Turner, Q, Owen, Q, what is that? H. So we have Davises, and yeah, some of these are pretty hard to Harbins. So I'm trying to figure out, in addition to recording some of these, which, oh yeah, it's really hard to tell. Oh, Heron. It's amazing how quick, how much a grave is weathered. They spend the extra to have these carved tombstones, and you can't much tell. Okay. Chiles. I've heard a name like that before. I can't say I've met any. But obviously you'd want the family buried in a similar area. Actually, I don't care. I don't think spiritually there's any real reason for that, but Clementine Wallace, Langston. Remember the Berlin Papyrus where the family and the friends and stuff turn against you? That's why I don't really care much whether I'm buried near family. Adeline, wife of Enoch, or Enox, not sure how that would be pronounced. We have a wood grave, but this is pretty new here. So offerings to make unto demons, because the real light beings are not gendered. I mean, they can be talked about in gendered language, but they're not gendered. They're not. Lauren Sekerchak, so I guess older name. Well, someone's not dead yet. Oh, okay. Infant son in 1945. 1974. I'm not finding too old. It used to be when you'd have an emperor or something like that, you'd keep a flame going at the grave. And so some of the Callahan, I've encountered some Callahans in my life. Simpsons. No Simpsons that have names at the television show, apparently. Paul, Leland, so let's go forward here. Bratcher, Linda, pain. Can't say I've ever known any pains in my life. We have a Korean and Vietnam vet. Don't think you're supposed to let the flag touch the ground, but the Clarks, that's their choice. Strickland. Rachel Strickland, okay. So unknown graves, maybe? Some of them. An infant baby, 1895. WP. I've never met any Hall, but I have books and stuff by some Halls. Of course, that doesn't have anything to do with these ones. Is there a... Is there writing on any of these? No. Okay. Johnny, son of the Halls, a son of Sleep on something. I can't quite make that out. Well, the bluebird's supposed to be of your own hearing your inner voice. Of course, I think that message is lost to most Christians. I want to make sure the Nahas, the Bringmans, the Burrings, Nahas, that's kind of a interesting one. So a couple of demonesses invited to this graveyard here with those things. That's the interesting thing there with the Burns. Oh yeah, I want to see who the Burns are. Did I show that? Jeanette, John, Nina, Robert, Anne, a Reverend. Of course, clergy has authority over you that you say it does. If you say you're a higher spiritual authority, you know, or that their thing has no authority over you, that's one's choice. Abner Cobb, 1914. Not seeing any World War I vets, am I? 1922. Yeah, the women usually last longer than us, don't they? James Arthur Cobb, 1937. I'm guessing the oldest graves here are ones that some of these unmarked ones are ones that you don't have a full name. 1899. Little and Henderson. It's good for a wife to not change her name when she gets married, because women aren't property. But America, we've kind of developed that tradition, haven't we? So, what does that say? Davis. Young. 1938. Yeah, I guess that's not as old. Son of some dead infant, maybe? (1910), 1969, 1971. I'm presuming we're looking at graves here, but they probably don't. There could be people from the community even before this was a community. That's Pollard, really uncommon name as far as my experience. Pollard, 1949. Kate Rogers, Konecki. Okay. Oh, is this of a Civil War vet? Died 1898 and helped a good fight to have finished. Second Timothy 2:7. So we can look that up later, can't we? And oh, the cross and a crown. So the merging of church and state, the Burdettes, Kiefer Burdette, KH. Okay, another McHugh. Did I share these? Vaughn Smith. Yeah, I've met some Smiths before. I even had a woman lie to me, tell me that her name was Smith. Died 1884. Well, if God's omnipresent, we all die in God. Remember my video? I was talking about Abrasax. Whether you're talking about a separate personages or the finality of the the source principle. So, source of matter, then you have energy, and then you have the action. Dockery. And 1906, Burdette's. 1907. What is that? Freedom, Charity, Triumph. So what is that? Wait, is that? Brothers. Jesse Snyder, Willem Wesley. Died in 1907. We have Frank, 1901. Annette, another 1901. We have Ferrar, which is Ferrari. It used to be a lot more acceptable to be a Freemason. A lot of the conspiracy theorists have kind of ruined it for a lot of people. Okay, let me think of where I'm at. Satterfield. I'm presuming that some people were secretly Jewish back then, or the Christian graveyard incorporated when things were earlier on. Snyder, Satterfield died in 27, and okay, what is... Of course, you can't always tell what people are by name. Are these just piles of bricks, or were there graves here? The Holden. Can't exactly take rubbings anymore on gravestones. People accuse you of vandalizing, or you might actually damage things, so you don't want that either. April 1884. We have 83. Sometimes it's best when someone dies as an infant, because 1880, we're talking older. 1876. Because when we hit puberty, most of us, because we're accountable for our actions, most of us kind of fail in life. So I'm going to get this other side. I mean, it's a tragedy for the parents. But then again, they should know that their kids died innocently, so that they don't have anything bad to carry on. No bad beliefs, no bad actions. They're still totally innocent. They don't have independent morality. Some people say that about 7- and 8-year-olds. This country and Britain had a problem with that. We have okay, what is... Leonard's born 1882. I think I may have already reached the oldest confirmed graves that I'm going to see here. If you lift this, because what's the writing on that? And who knows, there may even be something buried in here a little further than 1905, 1900. I'd like to live a long life, but that's not as important as some stuff. 1954. Gentry. 1911. Thomas Franklin Trainum, November 26th, 1943. Mary Earl Hall Trainum, September 28th, 1928. March 28th, 1910. Young. Might as well do the Youngs before, might as well record the Youngs. We have 1911. 1918. 1966, 1969, and Jameson, Alma. I've never met an Alma that wasn't Latter-day Saint. Jennings Jameson died for his country. Doesn't the Bible say to not fight for your country? I mean, you can fight in defense of people, but of course, World War II, I'm not going to criticize World War II because there was definitely a lot of good intentions. It wasn't some xenophobic hatred like a lot of the people nowadays. June 1911. Okay, the gates. The gates are open with a star. died pretty young. And okay, we have platform. In some countries, on the platforms, you perform rituals for the dead, or to the dead, or however you want to phrase that. I personally don't worship the dead. 1916, Terracins. And what's... I'm thinking there's writing on this somewhere. Some people collect graveyard dirt. I think that's not really my bag, the Shirleys. But certainly for people who practice evil magic, the graveyard dirt could be an important thing. The riddles. I'm weaving down here. 1892. Oh, okay, dead. Okay. I'm saying someone's been alive since 1892. That's quite an accomplishment. Well, not as much as accomplishment as other things, but as far as living long. 1925. And let's... Okay, did I go over these? The Parker. Yeah, I think I went over these. Because I want to record everything. Another pain. Come ye blessed. So aside from a person's assertion of faith, what makes one blessed? And how is that blessed? So I'm just wondering here. 1901, so another baby dead. 1909. But the will of God be done. 1912. WPP. Paynes, 1914. (1902). So still pretty old here. There's Josephine. When did Josephine die? Not seeing that. Watson's 1898. Yeah, I think maybe some of the I'm getting a feeling some of the graves without dates or even full names here we're having be some of the oldest. 1917. (1964). Doris and Oscar Baker, relatively recent. Daza I, 1981. So some of the nicer looking ones are still before I was born. 1899. 1910. His wife. Yeah, all these guys where their wife lives on over a decade after them. That's, I mean, it's probably good for the wife, but Salt of the Earth, 2003. Well, salt of the earth means nothing grows. I don't know why that's such a popular saying. 1922. There's certainly a lot of salt of the earth. 1937, Arthur Cobb. So I think we're at an end of what's in the graveyard. I'm going to break here and make the church video on the way back.